Hello everybody, you're welcome back again to the Reggae Appreciation Society. 1978 was one heck of a year in Jamaica. Political violence was still rocking the island big time. Prime Minister Michael Manley's ban on bauxite exports had strained relations with America, and economic challenges were at an all-time high. But on the musical side of things, all the problems were fuel to the Rastafarian movement, which was at its peak, and the main engine room of the roots reggae scene, which was churning out masterpiece after masterpiece. In this video, we're counting down our picks for the top 8 reggae anthems of 1978, a year which saw the release of wonderful songs from both superstars and newbies alike. Now let's go. Number 8, Uptown Top Ranking by Althea and Donna. In a period dominated by heavy hitters, those two Kingston teenagers unleashed one of the biggest songs of the year that came about due to the incredible love of music, enthusiasm, and a massive amount of luck. Althea Forrest and Donna Reed were enjoying their summer holidays after graduating from high school and were ad-libbing their own version of dancehall artist Trinity's 3-piece suit on a street corner when none other than Jacob Miller stumbled upon them and was so impressed at what he had heard that he took them to Joe Gibbs' studio to record their own version. This feel-good track first got airplay on Mikey Dread's radio show Dread at the Controls and took off from there, becoming a hit in Jamaica that went to number 1 in the charts and stayed on top for several weeks. As if their splendid luck wasn't enough, Joe Gibbs sent some records to legendary BBC radio DJ John Peel over in England. John Peel was supposed to play a song called Calico Suit, but as fate would have it, he mistakenly played Uptown Top Ranking, after which his studio got inundated with hundreds of calls requesting that the song be played again and to find out who sang it. This hype caused the song to take off in Britain and it flew into the charts. The girls were invited to perform on iconic music show Top of the Pops, where their charming performance sent that song into number 1, knocking off none other than Paul McCartney off the top spot, and it stayed at number 1 for almost 3 months straight. It also hit number 2 in Ireland and became one of the biggest songs of the year across all genres. Number 7, Great Tribulation by Hugh Mundell. After more than 2 years of mentorship from Augustus Pablo, super gifted man-child Hugh Mundell unleashed his seminal debut album Africa Must Be Free by 1983 that was produced by Pablo with the background sounds from elite instrumentalists like Leroy Sibbles, Robbie Shakespeare, and Leroy Horsemouth Wallace. But the real star of this critically acclaimed masterpiece was Mundell's superb songwriting and vocals. And off this album was a phenomenal Great Tribulation, a Rastafarian anthem in a class of its own, with high-level apocalyptic messaging that makes you wonder how such depth and powerful lyricism could come from the mind of a 16-year-old kid. That single became really big in Jamaica and soon found its way to the playlists of UK sound system DJs, and its immense popularity saw it blow its way into Britain's reggae charts by October in that year. It's one of my favorite Hugh Mundell cuts and definitely one of the top reggae anthems of 1978 without a doubt. Number 6, Baldhead Bridge by Culture. Following the spectacular impact of the Joseph Hill-led trio's debut album 2/7's Clash from the year before, they immediately went to work on their follow-up that was called Baldhead Bridge, which was also produced by the great Joe Gibbs. This album was also highly rated, and its title track was a classic specimen of the unbeatable quality that made Culture one of the highlights of the golden age of roots reggae. Powered by the militant and flawless instrumentals from the in-house studio band Joe Gibbs and the Professionals, with a powerful salvo of drum play from Leroy Horsemouth Wallace that carries that song alongside the uplifting horns from saxophonists Hedley Bennett and trombonists David Madden. And don't even get me started on Joseph Hill's passionate nasal vocals, spitting fire as he prophesies the burning down of Baldhead Bridge, a heavyweight tune that helped establish Culture as one of reggae's iconic groups of the 70s and beyond. Number 5, Money in My Pocket by Dennis Brown. After emerging as a child prodigy under the guidance of Coxsone Dodd, he began a collaboration with Joe Gibbs in 1972, and one of the first songs they recorded was Money in My Pocket that was produced by Nani the Observer. That version made waves, but 6 years later, when Brown was recording exclusively for Gibbs, they would put together a remake which was powered by Joe Gibbs and his studio backing band. This version would mark the turning point of Dennis Brown's career as it not only struck gold in Jamaica but also became a global phenomenon when it entered the UK charts and stayed there for several weeks. It not only announced his international success but was one of a handful of reggae songs that shook up the global charts that year. It's also among the favorite songs of hardcore Dennis Brown fans who love Dennis's usual rich vocal performance and sensitive lover boy lyrics. It's also one of the songs that would earn him his iconic nickname, the Crown Prince of Reggae. Number 4, Social Living by Burning Spear. Off his 7th studio album, the great Winston Rodney, aka Burning Spear, unleashed this deep, mystical, political 3-minute masterpiece. It featured Rodney's trademark heavy chanting in its absolute prime, riding the hauntingly authentic and beautiful instrumentals from a constellation of instrumentalists like Aswad George Oban on the bass, Drummy Zeb on the drums, and Brinsley Ford on the guitar, as well as Dirty Harry Hall on tenor sax and Earl Lindo on the keyboard, all put together by the studio production wizardry of Carl Peterson. But the song's true power lay in the powerful messaging and concept of social living, a call for resistance to oppression through solidarity and unity. Definitely one of Burning Spear's all-time classics and undoubtedly among the best of that year. Number 3, Now That We Found Love by Third World. After rocking the world with their 1977 album 96 Degrees in the Shade, they put out their next album in Journey to Addis in 1978, which also became a smash critical and commercial hit, and the lead single Now That We Found Love, which was a cover of a song by American R&B group the OJs, became a roaring success that topped Jamaica's charts and reached number 9 in the American singles charts, plus number 10 in the UK. It also hit the top 20 in several European countries and ended among the biggest songs of the year across all genres. It also established Third World as one of reggae's true international sensations. Number 2, Kaya by Bob Marley and the Wailers. Off Bob Marley's feel-good masterpiece album of the same name, the Tough Gong unleashed one of the most iconic herb anthems ever put to wax. It's simply 3 minutes and 16 seconds of infectious excellence, as Bob passionately lets the listener know that he's got to have Kaya for the rain is falling. A sonic marriage of the superhuman instrumentals by his spectacular band, who by then was sharper than the finest katana blade. From the choppy keyboard play of Tyrone Downey, the spectacular rhythm section of the Barrett Brothers, to the guitar heroics of Al Anderson, not to mention the magical and unforgettable percussion from Alvin Seco Patterson, and the beautiful and breezy backup vocals of the I3s. Incredibly, I found out later that quite a number of Bob Marley superfans named their kids Kaya in honor of this phenomenal song. And coming in at number 1 is Bush Doctor by Peter Tosh. Off Peter's 3rd studio album of the same name, this song took his herb legalization advocacy to a whole new level, several notches higher than his debut, Legalize It. The inspiration for this song came after the infamous halfway tree incident, which saw him arrested and beaten half to death by the police, who caught him smoking a spliff. This song featured Peter's booming voice in collaboration with his legendary Word Sound and Power backing band, with super instrumentalists like Sly and Robbie, Mikey Chung, Robbie Lynn, and Keith Sterling. It also featured the lovely I3s doing what they did best on backing vocals. This song is majestic and simply incredible, and if you ask me, one of Peter's best. But due to its controversial subject matter, it was banned on Jamaican radio, and that would hinder its commercial success. But regardless, it's in my humble opinion one of his greatest, and definitely the number 1 reggae anthem of the year 1978. So there you have it. Thank you for watching this video today. Please leave a like, subscribe, and until next time, Jah bless.